have the panel members
Decisions how to affect your life, what you
come
do,
back.
Yeah, it's just a huge issue that if you go around knocking doors, it's something you shut up.
All right. Today we have with us for State Assembly District 42, Mr. Howard Scheff. Sir, if you can give a minute opening statement.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. I don't like being here, but I'm here. My name is Howard Scheff. I'm running for District Assembly 42. I ran in 2014 as an independent. I'm doing it because I think that we need to make some changes. We need to get politicians out of politics. We need to have regular people. Most of my campaign is done by knocking on doors and getting to know the people in my district. I said it other times where most people don't even know who their assembly people are, or anybody in their legislation. If you ask anybody that you live near, who's your assembly person, they don't know. I'm trying to change that. I think it's important for people to know who their assembly people are. We're hired or voted into this position to represent the people of that district and the people of Nevada. And if we don't talk to the people, how can we represent them? My opponent is the incumbent. I've never met her. I've lived in my district for 5 years. I didn't know who she was until I ran against her in 2014. She's never asked me what I want to see changes in the laws or legislation in my district or in my state. No one ever has, and I think it's time that that's what happens.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jones, you want to start with the questions?
Thank you, Mr. Scheff, for coming this morning. Based off what your introductory statement, could you explain for the listeners what exactly the state assemblyman does and what your role is?
The state assembly is the lower portion of the legislature. We help to write laws and policies for the state and for the people, to benefit the people.
Mr. Faust.
Good morning. My name is Robert Faust. Thank you for being here. Where would you stand on a bill that would allow ex-convicts or even convicted felons that are currently in prison to start to vote?
I do not think that ex-convicts or felons should vote. I think that they gave up that right when they committed a crime.
Mr. Connell.
Len Connell, thanks for being the sole person to show up here, and appreciate you taking your time. You have got involved in some anti-bullying cases with the school district, so I'd like to hear your position on that. Does the school district need to create an environment where every little problem that a kid faces growing up with his classmates has to be legislated and safeguarded by teachers and administrators, or is there some responsibility of those kids to learn to get along and work together?
Well, I believe there's a responsibility for the children. There is a responsibility for the teachers and the administrators of the school to be aware of what's happening. We had a situation where years ago my daughter was being bullied by some kids in school. We went to the school system. We talked to them. It didn't matter. It's not our problem. And luckily my daughter was mature enough and smart enough to walk away from it and survive. There are children who don't, who wind up committing suicide or doing other things that they shouldn't do because they don't have the ability. They don't have people to support them and help them. So I think that there should be some legislation out there to protect children against serious bullying. I think that minor bullying is something that we need to learn to grow up and have our kids grow up and protect their skin.
I'd like to go back to Mr. Lauer.
Rob Lauer, yes, Army. So recently there's been a spike in crime here in Clark County. What do you attribute that to? And if you're in the state assembly, what kind of laws and regulations would you pass, or would you pay for more cops? What would your solution be to fighting crime?
Well, I think one of the things we definitely need to make our policemen a little more visible in a lot of the crime areas. They wind up in places where they don't need to be, handling small things. I didn't agree when they said they weren't going to react to minor car accidents, but then I sat back and I thought, well, if they're reacting to a small car accident, they're not even when the person is being robbed. Recently, I was in a situation where I called the police because somebody broke into a home that I was watching and almost wound up having to shoot somebody because they attacked me because the police weren't able to respond in time because they were in the middle of something else. So we definitely need more policemen on the street. And I think that we can't change the laws. The laws we have, I think, probably cover most of the crimes that we have already happening. We just don't have enough people. I think maybe a volunteer police department. I grew up in Maryland, and we had in Baltimore County, we had a volunteer police department. They didn't have arrest powers or anything. They certainly had the power and the training to be able to assist in visually assisting the police and letting them know where things were happening. A lot of them wore uniforms, and they were just a person there. People see a uniform and tends to sway away from it.
Mr. Q.
Good morning, Howard.
Good morning.
My question is, in 2014, you ran as an independent, and you did quite well running as an independent in the heavily 2-to-1 Democratic district. My question is, why sudden change of running as a Republican this time around?
I knew that was coming. I changed because, as my friend Troy said, as an independent, we had very little, if any, support from our party. I would do fundraisers and nobody in my party would show up, not even the chairman. Okay, so as I progressed and after I didn't succeed in that election, I started talking to people. And I had gone to a lot of the Republican events trying to get their support. And I realized that the only way I was going to get that support is if I was a member of the Republican Party. I looked at where the independents were going, and they're not going anywhere. They're not growing to the rate that they said they were. They weren't keeping their promises to people that they made promises to. People like the Bundys, I mean, they convinced them to sign over in the middle of everything that was going on and change from being Republicans to be independent. And they were going to support them. But when the Bundys, when this stuff happened, the independent party walked away. So I think that I made a choice based on where I thought I was going to get more support, where I'd get more votes. I don't actually believe in a two-party system anymore. I think that we should be voting on what we're able to do, not by the letter that follows our name. But if the Republicans aren't going to vote for me because I don't have an R, yet they believe in what I say or how I believe, then I figured I need to put the R behind me, so at least I know I'll get the Republican vote, and hopefully I'll still get the independent vote because they still know me and know where my views are.
Mr. Stoffel.
Why are you opposed to Common Core and no new taxes?
Opposed to Common Core because I think that we're turning our children into robots. I think that our teachers are no longer teaching. They have a book in front of them. I'm an NRA training counselor, and the NRA gives us a book that tells us how to teach our classes. And it's almost like Common Core. I have a list of what I have to do, how I have to do it, straight on down the line, and I'm not supposed to change that. Well, that's what our teachers have to do today. So they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to go to college to become educators, where we could put a monkey in front of a book, if you could read it, and have them teach the class. They've taken things away from their students that shouldn't be. And they're getting information about people that don't need to be had. The government and the school system doesn't know who my granddaughter, who's the only one that's left in school today, who her great-grandparents are. It's not their business, but they're asking these questions. Where are they from? What are they doing? That's not their information. But I think that Common Core has taken things away. The socialization that children had in school that I think is extremely important. They don't even have birthday parties in most elementary schools anymore for little kids. They don't have enough time because everything is written out in such critical numbers that if a kid has a birthday, the parents can bring cupcakes, but the kids take them home with them. So I think that Common Core has definitely changed the way things are. I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question quickly?
I think we're out of time. It's regarding no new taxes.
No new taxes. I think we have enough money being paid out by the people in Nevada, and if we reestablish where the money goes, then we can save money.
Mr. Edwards.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming. Mike Edwards, United States Marine, disabled veteran, and I'm the president of the Bandidos Motorcycle Club here in Las Vegas. My question, in the state of Nevada, distracted driving is the #1 cause of collisions after speeding, and I'd probably make a bet that in Las Vegas that percentage is much, much higher. I drive to work every day, it's 5 miles down Spring Mountain, and I probably see at least 40 or 50 people on their phone that are swerving, that are braking, that are, and I see accidents all there all the time, and they're involving distracted driving. Why have they not done more about the problem? Why not triple the fine, do some PSA, some billboards, and a mandatory suspended license period, maybe a month, maybe a week, to actually do something proactive about the problem, because it can save a lot of lives.
I agree with you 100%, and I don't know why they haven't done it. I think it's something that definitely should be looked into. I think one of the big problems we have, and I don't think that people are aware of, our police are just as guilty as the citizens of doing the same thing. They've given the policeman a computer that's right at their fingertips, and you'll watch a policeman ride down the street doing the same thing. So if the average citizen sees a cop riding down the street playing on his cell phone or on his computer, why are they any different? Why should they be able to do it? So I think the police need to lead by example, number one. And number two, yes, we should have some stronger fines. If you're caught, do the same thing as you do seatbelts. First time you get one fine, second time you get another, third time you get suspension.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Scheff, thank you for showing up today. Assemblyman John Moore. Regarding involuntary commitment, where do you fall on that as far as who do you think should be allowed to initiate the legal 2,000 hold on an individual?
Well, that's a tough question. I think the legal hold should be definitely if somebody's going to endanger themselves. If somebody's considering suicide, I think that we definitely should, anybody should be able to initiate that if it's a fact that that person is talking about suicide. Or if a person is endangering themselves or others, I think that the police need to make a decision. But I think it also needs to be put to a counselor or a psychiatrist, somebody who has the mental illness knowledge. So if a policeman or another person believes there's a problem, I think it should fall down to a medical professional.
Robert, my name is Scott Fada, Citizens for Better America. I want to put you on the spot here now you're running as a Republican. Do you feel Governor Sandoval has done a good job or not, and explain why?
I don't think he did a good job. Well, no, let me rephrase that. He's done a good job on some things. There are other things he hasn't. I think that I think he's not sure where he wants to be. Whatever looks best for him at this point is where he jumps to. Whoever has the most votes is where he jumps. I don't think that he's. Sometimes I don't think that Governor Sandoval thinks for himself. I think that he has advisors telling him where to go.
Chip Batar, U.S. Army veteran and political activist. Thank you for your service, but welcome home. So I appreciate your service there. My question is kind of piggyback on something more. Basically, what is your experience or what is your plan to basically point out suicide as a problem in society? I know 22 a day is what people say, but it's more like 22 what they can prove and then plus is whatever they don't know about. So
I think they say it's about 37 a day currently.
I wouldn't doubt it, but what's your kind of game plan or what's your expertise in that area?
Number one, I have taken the Smart Talk course, and I've also taken the Assist course that's offered through the state of Nevada. I think it's important that this should be something that should be taught to students. It should be offered to every corporation and every agency in the state, so that more people become aware of if a person starts saying certain things, that you can understand what their indication is that they're thinking about suicide or other harmful issues. And once you become aware of that, then you know the resources. I carry a pack of books and a thing in my car that has a list of all the different resources throughout the whole state. I carry a card in my pocket that tells me how to approach a person that's talking about suicide or that I think is talking about suicide, and what to say to them, how to approach them properly, and get them to tell me whether they're going to whether they really want to commit suicide. So I think that we need to educate the society, the people, that suicide is real. It's not just veterans. I mean, it is huge in veterans, and being a veteran, I take it close to heart. And I spend a lot of nights out with veterans that are talking about suicide and having issues. I think that we need to make sure that the public becomes more aware. So if you work for a company, or you're in law enforcement, or in government, they should take the Smart Talk course and learn and understand about suicide.
Thank you.
So in your opening statement, the reason you felt that you didn't get elected is because you weren't part of the establishment, Republican or Democrat. If you get elected as a Republican this time around, how will you differentiate yourself as an assembly person and get out there and meet the Americans or constituents in your area?
Same way I'm doing it as I'm campaigning. I knock on the doors. I don't have a lot of money. I go every door and talk to people. As we progress through, I hope to start doing some town hall meetings. I made some arrangements for some little meeting spaces, and I'm going to put the word out to the people in my district and say, hey, come talk to me. Tell me what your issues are. Tell me what concerns you about our state, and let's see if we can come up with a plan. If we don't hear what the people have to say, how can we fix the problem? We as legislators, we can continue to make all the laws we want to make, but if it's not the law that matters to the people, it's not the law that they're going to abide to.
Hey, Mr. Scheff, Fred Conquest, Executive Director of Citizens for a Better America. You mentioned your opponent. Can you tell us what and why you're different in terms of your take on the 2 or 3 most important things for our state? Can you tell us who she is?
Her name is Irene Bustamante Adams. She's an incumbent. She's been for several years. I believe if she wins this election, this will be the last time she can run. I'm not saying she's done a bad job. There are some bills that I don't think that I would have voted the same way. I know that she's voted to raise taxes. I don't believe that I would have voted the same way. She's a Democrat. I'm a Republican or independent. I'm an American. I'm a citizen about it, and that's what I care about. I told you before, I don't care about the letter behind my name. The people care about that letter. I mean, when it comes time to vote, people are going to go down the list and they're going to say, oh, D, no, I'm not voting for D, I'm not voting for an I, oh, an R, okay, I'll vote for the R. They're not going to look for my name. They're going to look for the letter behind my name. So, in order to do what I feel that I can do for the state, the only way that I can do that is to become a Republican.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other questions? More from the audience.
Try to stay on time.
Mr. Scheff, if we can have you give a 30-second closing argument.
I love the state of Nevada. I moved here from Maryland 15 years ago because I visited here for business over the years, and I fell in love with this state. We traveled across country. My wife and I could have chose anywhere to live, and we put up roots here. We literally stopped and didn't travel again. I think this state has a lot to offer to our children and to the people. We just need to bring it back to where it was. We've forgotten about the children. We forget about education. Our education system sucks. We're the lowest in the country. In most things, we have the worst air in the country. No, we live in a desert. There's something wrong with what's going on here, and we need to make changes. And if we don't change what's currently in our legislation, we are not going to make the changes that need to happen in our state. Because the people that are in office now aren't making the changes, so we need to change what's there. If you went to a doctor and he wasn't curing your problem, would you keep going to that doctor? Or would you find a new doctor? So now it's time to find a new doctor, and I'm that person.
Thank you very much. Members?